Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com.
Chosen ones, empaths. I know many of you are like not even looking for a new romantic relationship, and you've been through this experience with a narcissist involved in your life, and you know you're not looking. And I totally get that. That is the right decision to make. You know, honestly, don't get back out there too soon. You know, there's a lot of narcissists out there, and they prey on wounded victims of narcissistic abuse. They'll be able to pick up on the signs that you're not healed enough, and they'll try and exploit you because of that. That's not the only reason why I'm saying don't rush out there too soon, but I'm saying, you know, developing a relationship with yourself, you know, healing is all crucial, you know, finding some purpose and meaning to your life other than just ending up in these relationships that are not going nowhere, and basically really, you know, have a meticulous vetting process in place to, you know, assess people that are perhaps future partners, or, you know, so you can judge correctly. But the thing is a lot of narcissistic abuse victims feel like they miss the narcissist, right? And I've got an analysis of what I think is really going on. I don't think you actually miss the narcissist. You might think you do, right? You might think of all the good times that you shared together, and however the relationship ended, if you were discarded, reverse discarded, you know, that can be really brutal. You know, you can feel like you crave their companionship. You feel like you can miss them. You can feel in a really lonely place, right? But really, they wasn't good company, you know. They wasn't good company. And I've separated the reason is because when you get discarded or reverse discarded, it abruptly hits you very suddenly, you know. The realization that they don't want to be in your life, and whether they're playing games or not to try and draw you out and stuff is another question, right? Is another part of it, right? Because oftentimes they push you away to pull you back in, and they play games and they manipulate. But, you know, you can be in a real hurt place when the finality of it has hit you, right? And it can leave you feeling alone and thinking that, under the false impression that you desire this narcissist in your life. Now, if you're the one that done the cutting off with the narcissist, it's highly likely that you'll feel relieved when you first cut the narcissist off. But as time proceeds, it can not always, but a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse may suffer with dumper's remorse because they haven't seen the full unmasking. You may have seen the unmasking to some degree, but I believe that when you go through a discard or a reverse discard, this is just my analysis, I think you see the full unmasking, like abruptly it hits you. They really expose themselves to their evil nature. Now, the thing is, regardless of how it ended, you know, it's not the fact that you missed the narcissist. Honestly, you actually don't, right? All of you can fall into this trap of thinking that you missed the narcissist, right? But it's actually because you're used to their company. They're not good company at that. They're not even good company, but you're used to their company. You're used to having those around you, right? And there's something I want to touch on, because I touched on it in another video, but I'm not sure if, you know, you may not have heard it. Now, you know, you may have been used to the company of the narcissist, not just in person, but you may have been used to the narcissist that was involved in your life, messaging you or contacting your social media or calling your phone or video calling you, and you're used to that lifestyle, right? Now, there's something I want to touch on. It's going a bit off the topic, but it's all in relation, right? You've got to understand what was happening to you psychologically through this process when you used to engage in messaging the narcissist on these messaging apps, or even messenger, like actual messages, or social media, or however you used to communicate with them, right, you've got to understand the psychological things that were happening, right? Now, there's something in your brain called, you have dopamine releases, right? And these companies that set up these messaging apps or these social media sites have created them in a way that it triggers your dopamine release, and that's your feel-good hormone. The dopamine is your feel-good hormone. But really, your dopamine is your reward system, you know? When you do something good, right? Even if you eat a meal, you eat a nice meal, your dopamine will be released, but it's actually put under pressure, you know? It's actually strained through these, you know, social media or messaging apps. You know, it's actually exploited by these companies that have set them up, because they've directly targeted that part of your brain. And that's why you have the emojis and the effects and the notifications and all of these things. When your message comes through, you get a dopamine release and a feel-good hormone, right? And you've got accustomed to that, right? Now, it happened to be that the person that you were engaging in this type of activity was a narcissist, right? And that's why when the relationship's over, you can feel an absence. You know, you can feel an absence. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Just like this video showing up for you, help it show up for someone else in the community. Remember, if you would like a one-to-one session with myself and like to shed some light on your personal situation, you can always reach out with the link in the description box. But basically, you know, this feel-good hormone was being triggered. This dopamine release was being triggered. Happened to be that you were engaging in this activity with a narcissist, you know, and the texting or the social media or whatever, right? And that's what you got used to. So you got to understand that this company that you were keeping, although it was bad company, your brain was being wired to think that it's being rewarded, it's being stimulated, like this is good. You know, it's making you feel good, right? It's making you feel good. So when you go to, after the relationship ends and there's no more texts or no more communication on social media or stuff like this, your brain can feel like it's under threat, you know. It can feel uncomfortable. The silence can feel uncomfortable. The notifications not going off on your phone from them can feel uncomfortable, right? And that's what you got to understand, what is happening on a grand scheme of things by these companies that have set up. You know, they've even admitted this. They've admitted this. You know, I've done some research on it. They're actually designed specifically to target that area in your brain to keep you on them, you know, to keep you engaged on them. If it wasn't targeting that part of your brain and psychologically affecting you, people wouldn't use social media or messaging like, you know, like they do nowadays, right? And it hasn't been around that long, theoretically, in the grand scheme of how long we've been in this world. You know, it wasn't too long ago people had pages, you know, and social media has only really kicked off in recent times. You know, even going back 10 years ago, it wasn't, even though Facebook and things were still about, it still wasn't as active as it is now. You know, it's not as active as it is now. And going back even further than 10 years, you know, it was non-existent, you know, and so these companies have hacked this thing, right? So you need to take that into an account when you're feeling these tendencies of feeling like you're missing a narcissist. That's why I know I went off topic, right? But it is in relation, because I want you to bear this in mind, right? So when you get these thoughts in your head that you missed a narcissist, or you miss their companionship, or, you know, you desire them, you know, it's actually this, what I was talking about with the messaging thing, and that you being by having these dopamine releases that were being triggered. And also it's actually because you were used to their company, you see. So you were used to them messaging you, or you're used to them contacting you, or you were used to seeing them in person, and you got used to having them as company, but they are bad company, right? And that's why I'm telling you that if you do take the appropriate time out for yourself, by yourself, go through the uncomfortable period of being alone, right? Of feeling lonely. Go through that period. It's molding you. It's like it's teaching you a thing or two. You know, going through that period of being alone is the most groundbreaking, like thing that you can do. You know, honestly, it really propels you forward. It really enhances your character. You know, spending periods of time alone, you can really help you in character development, evolving, ascending. You become so sure of yourself. You're not reliant upon the validation of others. You know, and I'm not saying you need to do it forever, you know, but if you go through a period of time during your healing where you're focusing on your work or your career or your purpose or your meaning, and you're channeling your energy into that, or whatever else of interest into you, you know, whatever else of interest, going to the gym or, you know, doing your hobbies or whatever it is, you know, you're focusing on what you want to focus on. You're healing yourself. You know, you're keeping to yourself as well. You might see family or friends from time to time, but you're keeping to yourself generally. You're not in no romantic relationships. You'll be able to assess someone that comes into your life in the future that is better for you. You'll be able to assess and see them that they're better for you. You know, you'll be able to tell. You'll pick up on signs. You know. Because you've already been through the narcissistic abusive experience, and you'll realize when you engage with someone new, you know, as much as you felt like you missed the company of the narcissist that was involved in your life, that's why I'm telling you, don't do it too soon. Because if you do it too soon, like these narcissists do, right, where they just try heal through people and rush onto someone new, they're all with the new supplies, and they're thinking about you. And even when they got with you, they were thinking about their former supply. And I'm not trying to trigger any of you now, but that is what they're like, because they just rush into relationship after relationship after relationship. That's what I'm saying. If you give yourself a grace period, a period of time, you know, we spend so much time in relationships and tied down with people and stuff like that. You know, spending some time by yourself, for yourself, working on your character, working on the things that interest you, you know, finding your meaning, finding your purpose, you know, channeling your energy into creativity, you know. Honestly, if you give yourself this period of time, and there's no specific period of time that I can tell you need to take, right? There's no specific period, but I don't want you, you know, during this time being run down, thinking, oh no, you missed the narcissist. Oh no, the narcissist is doing this now with the new supply. They're all happy and, you know, loving life. And they're not loving life. They're miserable as anything, right? And then it's highly likely that they're with a new narcissist, right? Or another toxic individual, you know, and they're not enjoying life, right? And they never heal, right? So they're always caught up on their previous supply, and that is you, right? So you don't want to fall into that same pattern of behavior, because that will happen. You know, if you rush out there straight after the narcissistic relationship, meet someone, you know, you'll be thinking about them. You'll be thinking that, and that will really kind of, I don't know the right word to describe this. It was on the tip of my tongue and I lost it. But like, it will really make it more hurtful and impactful, you know, their absence, you know. Because you'll be with someone new, and this new person could be kind, they could be genuine, you know, they could be decent, you know, and because you haven't done enough healing, you're all thinking about the narcissist that was involved in your life. And that's why I always say, take a period of time out, you know. So you got to understand fundamentally, even though many of you may disagree with this video, and you may say, no, Zion, you know, I miss the narcissist, I miss them, it's only them I miss, and, you know, you're going to be going through things like that in your head, right? I know many of you might be saying that to what I'm saying now, if you've got to this point in the video, but, and I should have probably said this earlier, but you honestly don't miss the narcissist, right? And I'm telling you, it's just because you're used to their company. You don't miss the narcissist, You're just used to their company, and you can find better company. They weren't good company. That's the thing. If you miss a narcissist, like, you got to realize you've woken up to they're a narcissist. There's nothing. When you wake up to you're dealing with a narcissist, you need to kind of accept that that relationship is a no-go zone, you know, and there's better things out there for you, you know, and you will find better, and, you know, you will find company that is good to keep, good company to be around, you know, that, you know, you'll remember the abuse that you went through this narcissist involved in your life, but you'll meet someone new and, like, you literally won't be phased. You literally won't care about the narcissist. So just don't do it too soon, you know? And remember what I said about, sorry, that cough came out of nowhere. Remember what I said about these social medias and messaging apps and things like that are hacking your dopamine, your dopamine system, your reward system, making you have feel good hormones, feel good feelings, right? That's purposely been constructed by these people who have created this software, you know. So that is part of what conditions you to think that you're missing out now without that, you know. You're used to that, and that is kind of company. That's why I called the video company. That was them keeping you company when they were messaging you or contacting you on social media and this and that. But just understand the broader reality of what those, you know, I'm not saying they're bad. You know, you can use messaging and social media for good things, but it's literally made so you become dependent upon it and you need it like a drug. That's basically what it is, right? Drugs hack your dopamine system too, and you need them, right? Or nicotine hacks your dopamine system, and people smoke cigarettes or vape, and they chase the cycle of smoking or vaping because it hacks the dopamine system. Same with these apps, you know, or these messaging apps or social media hacks your dopamine system, keeps you engaged. They want to keep you on that platform. They don't want you to go to another platform. They want to keep you on that platform. So they hack your dopamine system by doing this. Right? So you need to understand that. I'm not saying the narcissist that was involved in your life is conscious of this, but I'm saying that that is what was happening in the proceeds of you messaging each other, of you contacting on social media, of you staying in touch. Or, you know, it was them. That was what was happening. You was having a feel good, feel good hormone being released from your dopamine system. Now, there's something that I'll just touch on before I draw the video to a close. What you should do when you come out of a narcissistic relationship, as soon as possible, when you can actually put your mind to it and you can actually grab a bit of paper and a pen, you should start thinking about a plan of your life, where you want to be in a year's time, where you want to be in 2 years' time. Think about financial plans. Think about what your goals, your dreams, all these things. And you should put pen to paper, realistic things that you can achieve, right? Or even dreams that you want to achieve, right? That you will have to work towards to achieve, right? And what this is called is delayed dopamine. You see, you work towards these goals, and this is a healthy form of dopamine because it will be delayed. You'll have gradual dopamine releases when you're working towards achieving your goal, and you're seeing that you're building towards it, and you're seeing you're building towards it, and then finally in a year's time or 2 years' time or 5 years' time, when you reach that goal, you'll have a dopamine release, and it's much more real, right? So it's channeling your energy into creativity, channeling your energy into your purpose and your meaning, rather than just being focused on messaging so-and-so or being on social media. And social media can be used for good things, right? So can messaging and stuff like that. Messaging apps, they can be used for purposeful things. But being glued to them all the time is negative, right? And it makes you into like an addict, waiting for these dopamine releases, you know? That's why they make them all bright and emojis and, effects and all these things to keep you to keep you glued and trigger those dopamine responses. So just understand that, you know, you don't miss the narcissist. You're just used to their company, but they're bad company, and you can find better company out there. Trust me, you can find better company, and it will happen. So anyway,
Thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. Links in the description box below. For more narcissism-based content, check out our other channel. Links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you on your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you need advice or some light shed on your situation. The Empath Monthly group meeting is coming up at the end of the month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email consultations if you need a plan of action. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. If you'd like to know more about God will rebuild you right in front of the people that broke you, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.